right, here we go. So for today's video, I did something a little different. I'm trying a 1,000-piece infinity puzzle. So you may wonder why I named this video 1,000 Things I Hate About You, which yes, I know is a little dramatic, but by the end of this puzzle and finishing the video, yes, I probably had about 1,000 things that I very much disliked about this puzzle. So as I'm opening this puzzle, a couple of things to note is that this is an infinity puzzle, which I've never really heard of before, but essentially what it means is that there aren't ends on the puzzle. So the right and left side of the puzzle don't have an end to the frame. So, imagine you usually have 4 sides with flat pieces. And a lot of times people will first do the flat pieces or the frame of the puzzle before they start going into the middle of the puzzle. Well, this puzzle is a little bit different because you have the top and bottom frame, but again, the right and left frame aren't there for you. As I dive into this puzzle and take a look at the pieces, they're fairly, standard cardboard pieces. In terms of the experience and working with the pieces, I didn't really have too much trouble. It was, just kind of, an average piece in terms of the way the cardboard feels, the way the pieces lock together. So you can see here, again, it was okay. I don't want to, completely dock the puzzle because of my experience while putting this puzzle together. So again, we're going to go into a time lapse of me finishing this puzzle. And so there's several reasons. It took me, I would say, probably 3 to 4 weeks to finish this puzzle. In actuality, it probably took me about 7 hours, which, for a 1,000-piece puzzle, for someone who's, definitely not a puzzle expert, but, better than beginner probably, I felt okay with the time it took to finish the puzzle. However, a lot of life happened while I was working on this puzzle and then working on the video and editing it. And so you'll notice there are different textures of wood in this puzzle. So it's basically paint supplies. So there's, of course, lots of paint. There's a few brushes. There's like a water well or a place where you can mix paints. And then there's the boards that you can mix on. And so between the different textures of wood, that actually wasn't too bad for me to try and decipher. In order for me to film and just not block the video with my head and really get in there and try and use the little details that I would, like the seams between the wood, to try and help, really just gauge where I am in the puzzle. That was a bit difficult for me to zoom in and to be able to do that. So also, fun fact, I live in Central Texas, and so a couple of weeks ago, y'all might have heard about a really bad hailstorm that blew through the area. This puzzle just kind of spans some very strange events that took place in my life, and also kind of put a little hitch on me continuing to work and get this puzzle video out faster than I would have hoped. All to say, my house is fine, I'm fine, my car is not fine. So anytime I look at this puzzle, I will probably be a little bit reminded of that moment. So yes, so there's that. Something else about the puzzle. You'll notice too, like the amount of time it took me to get it done. My nail color changes, the jewelry on my fingers change, the lighting changes, the video angles change. So, y'all know the deal. This is still a very fresh YouTube channel for me. I'm still learning the ropes. I'm still figuring stuff out. And so, for better or worse, this was the puzzle that did me in terms of trying to figure out just really long video clips and how to get that to transfer over to my computer so I could do all the editing. And I'm also, while in the middle of the learning, trying to improve for y'all every time I do put out a video. So some of that, because the video took so long to put together, I was like, well, why not go ahead and just be committed and get it out and make it the best it can be, at least, even though the experience may not have been as great as I had hoped. But all in all, I think it was still worth the work. And as much as it was a thorn in my side sometimes, it still was fun to just have that sense of accomplishment and getting it done. Such is life. So there's that. Also, if you hear a train in the background, I live by train tracks, so that happens sometimes. So sorry about that. So there was that element as well that was just a bit tricky, and and so I am proud of myself for that. So I'll give myself that little pat on the back for just not giving up, because there were so many times I was just really frustrated with the process. Getting back to the puzzles specifically, you'll see once I get to the end of the puzzle, something interesting that I did not realize about the infinity puzzle. Okay, so because the right and left sides of the puzzle don't have a frame, it didn't dawn on me until I got to the end that that the picture is actually almost like scrolling. It's almost like it's on a belt. So imagine you can roll the puzzle up, and the right end can actually connect to the left end and vice versa. So what that meant was when I got to the end of the puzzle, I had to adjust the last row of each end to make sure it lined up the way that the puzzle was intended to line up. And so I had some pieces that were like one row or two rows out too far on one side, and then because of that, on the opposite side, there were one row or two rows too far in. And so then I had to move some of the further out pieces from the right to the left, or to the left to the right. And so I had to figure out how to get that clean line on the right and the left, even though there wasn't a frame. And I think that'll make sense as you see more of the time lapse come through to the end. So you'll also notice I did do some things like get my salt lamp out, and that's what's flashing in the top left, along with, at this moment, we have a Sonic drink. So for anyone that wonders or cares, my favorite Sonic drink is a Diet Dr. Pepper with light ice and cherries and strawberries. That is like chef's kiss to me. So another little fact about me. So I think, I didn't want this video to feel like super negative. I definitely don't like to put negative energy out whenever I can. And all in all, at the end of the day, this is a puzzle. It's supposed to be fun, and I can put on a smile at the end of it all, despite curveballs that life threw at me, curveballs the puzzle threw at me, and say that, again, I'm happy I got it done. And I think moving forward, I am probably going to stick to 500 piece puzzles or less. So one of my goals, which I haven't shared on here yet, so you guys are going to hear it first, is I am trying to train to get faster with 500 piece puzzles anyway, so I can enter in some competitions. I know there's some in the Austin area that I've seen, and so I'm trying to work towards a goal of being able to feel confident enough to compete. And so this YouTube channel is in a lot of ways chronicling that journey and that as well. So I'll probably just do 1,000 piece puzzles as more recreational, and then document the 500 piece puzzles and my journey to eventually getting the guts and the courage to enter in a competition. Maybe starting with Texas, and then who knows from there. I do love them a lot. I do feel like, I'm making progress, and so I'm excited about this journey, and I'm excited to continue posting videos and showing progress, and also what life is too. And there's some fails, but just to keep on going and keep on trying. So that's a puzzle for today. That's all I got. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.